The disintegration of Yugoslavia, the increasing ethnic conflicts of the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia after the death of Josip Broz Tito, the economic depression and the changes in Eastern Europe, at the end of a bloody process that lasted for about 20 years from the late 1980s to the 2000s. The division into a sovereign country. It is stated that the West took political, economic, ideological and military actions at that time to break up Yugoslavia. After Josip Tito's death in May 1980, the difficulty of maintaining federal unity amid economic depression and ethnic strife became more evident. During the 1980s, the republics that formed the federation with the powers granted by the 1974 Constitution began to act almost independently from the center in the economic and political field. Increasing debt burden necessitated radical reforms in line with the Economic Stability Program after 1983. Political demonstrations and actions that started in Kosovo in 1981 Kosovo protests, spread to other republics over time. The tense relations between the republics also caused turmoil at the party and state levels, bringing frequent government changes. The conflict that emerged especially between Serbia and Croatia and Slovenia combined with the attempts for radical regime arrangements with the effect of the wind of change that started in Eastern Europe at the end of 1989. By the end of the 1980s, nationalisms were on the rise both in Serbia led by Slobodan Milosevic and in other republics. During this period, separatist, Slovenia and Croatia, irredentist, creation of Greater Serbia of Serbs, union of Kosovo Albanians with Albanians in Macedonia, and nationalism based on different religious identities, Bosniaks, coexisted in Yugoslavia. In 1989, when Milosevic abolished the autonomy of Kosovo and Vojvodina, changed the administration of Montenegro and attached it to him, he increased his administrative weight in the Yugoslav system. This created the problem of living in a Serbian-controlled Yugoslavia for other republics. To bankrupt Yugoslavia in 1989, the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank made loans to the Yugoslav government on devastating terms. Srbistan in Yetkisi Yanlisi Baskan Slobodan Milosevic in Butan Yugoslavia Merkizietsi Burjapi Dejatmasind in Second in Slovenia, Aniasada Alkadiki Kindi Katarini Yalnizka Slovenia Yasama Meklasinin Alakajini v Jerkers Federacion in Arilma Karari Alabala Sejani Angoran Berdejasaklik Yapti. 1990 Foot de Yugoslavia I Olustran Kumhurietler Kendi Sak Partili Sesam Marini Urutler v Srbistan v Karadag Sevra Sindiki Kumhurietler Sevra Yanlisi Mohalif Kasimler Sesamari Kasanurkin. Bu iki Kumhuriyet eski Komünistler iktidarlarini sürdürücüler. Body Terafindin Yugoslavia halk ordusunu zayıfladı v Slav Berlagini yıkmak için bol v yanet politikasini kullanarak en yakin dilleri konusun Slav halklarına karşı kışkırtıldı. Herhangi bir sonic alanamadan sona Aaron bu toplantıda Slovenya v Hırvatistan, Yugoslavya'nın yogan bir federasyona dönüştürülmesi konusunda ısrar ederken, Sırbistan v Karadag Merkezi bir federasyonun kuruluşunu savunuyordu. On June 25, 1991, when Slovenia and Croatia declared their circles, the dissolution process in Yugoslavia and the conflicts that gave romance to it began. 2 days later, the Yugoslav People's Army, under the control of the Croats Stjepan Mesic and Ante Markovic, unified against Slovenia. The Yugoslav People's Army has also lowered its view of the world. After Yugoslavia's coexistence was now possible, Macedonia declared its independence in September 1991 and Bosnia-Herzegovina in November 1991. On April 28, 1992, the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, consisting of Serbia and Montenegro, was proclaimed, with the constitution adopted by the now remnant Federal Assembly. Thus, from April 1992, Yugoslavia became a federation of Serbia and Montenegro but under Serbian control. Although this new state claimed to be a continuation of the former Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, the international community refuses to reject the new Yugoslavia as a continuation of the old one. It was only in 1996 that the new Yugoslav state renounced this claim. In March 1989, the Milosevic administration abolished the autonomy of Kosovo, which the Serbs had claimed for historical reasons. Throughout the 1990s, leaders of the Albanian majority living in Kosovo and southern Serbia favored a policy of non-violent resistance for independence. However, in 1996 radical Albanians started armed actions, forming the Kosovo Liberation Army. In February-March 1997 Albania incited civil unrest, which resulted in the CIA's looting of arms depots and the militarization of Albanians to establish Greater Albania. The Yugoslav government responded to the Albanian attacks by using force, regardless of civilians. As a result, many Albanians had to leave their homes. At the beginning of 1999, the methods used by the Serbs to suppress the UCK actions reached the level of massacre, and especially in January 1999, the discovery of the bodies of 46 Kosovars whose limbs were cut off and shot in the village of Račic, 25 kilometers south of Kosovo's capital Pristina, caused a great reaction in the international public opinion. As a result of the reaction of the international community, the NATO bombing of Yugoslavia started in March 1999, which lasted for about 3 months. The bombardments continued until Milosevic's government accepted NATO's demands and Serbian forces withdrew from Kosovo. From June 1999 Kosovo began to be administered by peacekeepers belonging to NATO and Russia. Russian troops withdrew in 2003. With the declaration of independence of Kosovo from Serbia on February 17, 2008, the last link in the disintegration process of Yugoslavia was completed. Mass protests broke out against Slobodan Milosevic, who denied the victory of the opposition as a result of the Serbian presidential election in September 2000. At the end of the protests, Milosevic was forced to leave power. On October 6, 2000, opposition candidate Vojislav Koštunica took office. In March 2001, Milosevic was arrested on charges of abuse of power and corruption. He was handed over to the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia in The Hague, Netherlands, in June of the same year. He was accused of committing genocide in Bosnia and Herzegovina and committing war crimes in Croatia and Kosovo in the court that started in 2002. He died on March 11, 2006 as a result of a heart attack while his trial was still going on. In April 2002, the Yugoslav parliament decided that anyone accused of war crimes by the International Criminal Tribunal should be handed over to the court. In March of the same year, Serbia and Montenegro made an arrangement that loosened the union between them. With this arrangement, the name of the country, which became the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, was changed to Serbia-Montenegro as of February 2003. Pursuant to this regulation, as a result of the voting held in Montenegro in May 2006, a 55.5% decision was made for independence. The existence of Serbia-Montenegro came to an end with the declaration of independence by Montenegro on June 3, 2006, and by Serbia 2 days later. After Serbia and Montenegro became 2 separate independent states, the remaining 2 autonomous regions of the Yugoslav SFC, Kosovo and Vojvodina, remained within the territory of Serbia. After Kosovo separated from Serbian administration with the unilateral declaration of independence in 2008, Vojvodina is the only region remaining in an autonomous structure.